Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein, he has been making comments at the Economic Club of New York, and some very interesting ones, Wilfred, regarding what's going on with China and trade.
Yeah, and I'd say, Scott, overall, in fact, he's relatively sanguine about these escalating trade concerns, certainly saying it's not his style to be doing this, but he wasn't too concerned. Here are some of his comments on trade.
I don't think we're in a suicide pact on this. There's a lot of frustration with China from here. I know that China is very frustrated with the sudden aggressiveness of U.S. policy, but anybody who has transacted with China appreciates the potential of China, has had good experiences in China and frustrating experiences in China. It's not my style, but if what you want to show is, if you want to give somebody an incentive to see the world from your point of view, it doesn't help to remind them of your negotiating position if it's a better one. And the fact is, if we go tit for tat, by the time you get to 100, they run out of things to apply a tariff to, and we don't. And so if you want to make that point, you make that point. Now, that's what you would do if you were crazy and really wanted to end free trade.
I'm picking up. Sorry, Scott, I didn't know if you were picking up. Anyway, he's saying there, clearly that's what you would do if you want to end free trade, but also what you would do if you wanted to highlight your negotiating position. They moved on and talked about rising interest rates and about political threats in Europe. And again, relatively sanguine about those, despite listing all these potential risks for markets.
Yeah, it's interesting. He, as part of what he was just saying there that you played for us, he said you'd approach trade with China this way: one, if you were crazy and wanted to end free trade, or two, if you're negotiating, not sure what the president is doing. Then he quotes, "Who am I to say what he thinks? But it does not make any sense to me at all."
Overall, though, I would say that whole exchange, which lasted about 7 minutes or so, was that he wasn't too concerned. He said, look, you're frustrated with China. He even mentioned the fact that 15 years ago he tried to launch his JV in China, and it took years and years to even get a minority position off the ground. So overall, this was the chairman and CEO of Goldman Sachs being relatively sanguine about the escalated trade debate, particularly its impact on the markets, and saying it wouldn't be the tactics he'd go, but if this was a negotiating position, then so be it.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.